This is Gauss.
So this video is mainly just going to be for clanmates, anyone in Wing Knights who's watching this right now. If it falls on anyone who already knows, or random people, that's cool. So essentially this is just going to be talking about the fact that Gauss is pretty much immortal due to a current bug with his passive, an arcane, and a mod. So his passive reads, when you move, on the right side you'll see this battery going up. It stands still, it just chills. Mock Rush, it goes up way quicker, and then obviously with his fourth ability it will overcharge into that weird oval shape. When Gauss's battery is maxed, his shields will recharge up to 120% faster, and the delay is up to 80% shorter. So basically his shields will come back really quick, while the delay, the time that it takes for the shield to actually start regenning from not taking damage, is decreased. To put it short, for whatever odd reason, when you pair it with this mod, Fast Deflection, and Arcane Aegis, once Arcane Aegis procs at least once in the mission, his shield just infinitely regens so long as your Gauss meter is filled, your Gauss battery. And that pretty much allows you to just have a free Arcane slot for whatever you want. Don't even need energy because you're just immortal. And then the rest of your build can be centered around weapon platforming in some kind of way. For example, I'm using Roar, and you can use a key mod here, Thermal Transfer, to make it so that your Thermal Sender can either give you heat, cold, or blast damage on your weapons, with a pretty high percentage too. Prime Sure-Footed is necessary just because you don't want to fall on your ass and possibly lose battery power. Now the only thing that can realistically kill you is if you're not careful and you walk into some gas cloud enemy, or the vampiric X's, the ones that drain your HP. But so long as you have a high KPM, it doesn't really matter, especially if you're using some kind of AoE. Which leads to my next topic, Okina. Now to anyone who's watching this video right now, you might be like, oh, this looks like the Ki video. I don't know how to say the Ki. And yes, it does, but that's because game recognizes game. That guy has good builds, and Okina right now is extremely strong. For the Incarnons, I mean, it's kind of up to you. I feel like the second one doesn't really matter what you pick, but I prefer the status damage because of what we're going to be using on the Okina. For Evolution 3, I like having combo timer pause, but you could also go range because range is super nice. And for the final, we're just going with some more crit chance and base status because status is nice. But you could also go with 12% status chance because, again, of the build that we're running on Okina. Now, Okina currently is one of the strongest melee influence builds. And essentially what melee influence does, as you can see here, when you proc an electricity stat, it can spread to enemies close by. Now when you mix that with Okina's Incarnon, which is auto-attacking blades, and blast damage, it creates a really strong AoE effect, which nukes enemies in your vicinity. Now if you're going for a Riven, something like this would work. Harmless negative with blast innate, and you can have crit chance, attack speed, crit damage, status chance. If you don't have a Riven, your build would most likely look something like this. Again, crit chance doesn't matter. You have Blood Rush for more crit chance, and then you have your blast and your electricity procs going off at once, with a higher status as well. We're using condition because most meta nowadays is some kind of pet or sentient that applies a lot of status effects that will ultimately give you more damage than using, say, prime pressure point. But of course, if you're using Gauss and you're just redlining and you're okay with it, you can also get rid of primed Fury for prime pressure point for even more damage. Note that melee influences electricity procs do go based off of your total number, but as you can see from the intro clips, honestly it doesn't really matter. Just a really quick demonstration of how the build works. Basically, you just want to make sure that your red line is always up. So you can dash into a wall if you want, just spamming it like that. Come up here, and you'll see that so long as my Gauss meter is full and Arcane Aegis procs once, that was both awkward and lucky. There we go. So Arcane Aegis has procced once. So long as I keep my battery uptime always, you can see I can just run around here and keep shield tanking essentially, abusing the fact that shield gate will make it so that I am unkillable. So if I come down here, you see it's just constantly going up and Aegis is not on right now. So once again, that allows you to pretty much abuse any kind of weapon platform you want. You could use Okina, Torrid, Zatal's Whisper, Roar, up to you. But again, I'll show you with melee Archon Shards and Roar, and abusing them with Transfer. You can melt things pretty quick, and you can just do stupid shit like this. Now, as for substitutions, you could swap out Arcane Fury here. I'm just using it because, again, more melee damage means more final damage in my influence, but you could swap to something like Arcane Strike, which I don't have, but right here. If you're not using Prime Fury on your melee weapon, this might be good to opt out if you don't want to redline all the time. Because this build is so strong, if you're versing gas-clad enemies, you could use Arcane Resistance. And I've seen a lot of people use Arcane Nullifier because Magnetic can stop your shield regen and your passive from working. Again, so long as you have fast deflection, Arcane Aegis, and your battery is fully charged. So long as Arcane Aegis procs once and you don't die and bleed out or something stupid, your shield will just infinitely gate for the rest of the entire mission. And that's pretty much just how Immortal Gauss works. It's kind of simple. If you were interested in my fashion, these are the colors I use. I'm using the Kresnik skin and the Jito helmets. These are the attachments. Again, this was made for clan members, but if anyone else sees this, I don't know, thanks for watching. I know you've probably seen like thousands of videos on this. Also, fuck Gaz, he did not make this build. This was in the Cascade Club. W Cascade Club members, if you're watching this and you're in there, I love you guys.